Shalom.
Close the door.
Shalom. Shalom. It is a privilege and an honor to have your ear and for you to consider me a spiritual voice to be taken seriously. It is a magnificent revelation in my life coming from who I was to who I am now, and for beautiful brothers to consider me as a part of their spiritual growth and evolution. And that means the world to me. Obviously, I'm making this video because I have no choice, not because I would. But when the Most High decides that you are going to learn and grow, and through the Spirit understand things that maybe your comrades have never even thought about, He will put pressure on you. And if that pressure break you, you are not the material that the Lord is looking for to build with. We must not break under pressure. We must fight voraciously, viciously, angrily, almost with hatred to protect brotherhood. Because brotherhood is the final chamber. Brotherhood will have you be patient when you want to move with haste. Brotherhood will have you pray when you want to act. Brotherhood will have you hold your peace when you want to speak. Brotherhood will have you look past the transgression when you want to hold on to it and point it out. What kind of brother would I be if I taught these brothers who believe in my education that I provide here? If in a time where returning to one's former self seems like the rationale, what kind of educator would I be if I didn't teach them that in times where the old man is necessary, we cleave harder to the Most High and draw closer to Him in those times? What kind of man would I be if I didn't teach that lesson? What kind of man would I be if I was more concerned with my personal reputation, that I was not willing to walk, think, and act according to the word of Christ, who I'm commanded to obey and listen to, or it'll be required of me? What kind of man would I be? What kind of example would I set for all of those who have not joined the body and have not become a member and do not have access to even call me and know me in that way? If all they had access was to turn on this portal of YouTube and see what I have to say, what kind of man would I be if I left them thinking the only way to solve a certain type of problem is to be a nigga and to abandon brotherhood and to make one's own self-preservation prime directive? Oh, that wouldn't be much like Christ now, would it? Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, prime directive was not self-preservation. His prime directive was what? Service.
That's right.
Israel, I have a small organization that was once larger than this. I'm going to tell you this. It became my job to lead this organization when I had no organization. And I knew that I must preach the gospel. And brothers came with me and rallied behind me and pushed me to be a better student and to figure out how to be some type of leader because I was not trained. And I sacrificed my job, relationship, and family relationships to cleave to that calling and be that no matter what they say until it became habit. But at the first sign of stress, if I snap and break, and the spiritual man, which I have dressed and furnished and burned incense and been anointed on the forehead and took to new moons and actually stopped projecting him and being him, if I broke that shell and went back to the old man, what kind of leader would I be? If to convince you to hear me, I had to sacrifice my brethren, what lesson does that teach them? Some of you may be wondering what I'm talking about. We at camp today. It's 11 o'clock. I haven't changed clothes. What I'm saying is, the Lord put a spirit on me to study something grammatically because I refuse to submit to the scholarship of the heathen. But I don't speak Greek. I don't have any brothers to go to teach it to me. They can parse words, but I can do that. I have a skill set. I'm capable in certain ways. I have to turn to that who I have disdain for to instruct me in how to understand the Koine, how to parse it, how to grammatically disseminate the meaning of words in their place, aside from biblical usage, which is the white man,
Right. Mm-hmm.
aside from Strong's definitions, which he tiers and ranks, who is also a white man.
Right.
I had to submit. I had to go learn it. And my opponents know it already. And they don't talk to my brothers with no type of love, compassion, or patience. They beat you down because you don't know. You don't have to be treated that way. I can help. And I began to study. Now, before I demonstrate something, just in short, to show you a macro, I'm going to show you a micro. But before I do that, if Yahweh intend for me to serve him to the death, I can't run from him and make haste at a time of trouble. But I have to go closer to him. I have to ask him what to do. Satan was ready with answers. Mm-hmm. Well, this brother teaches that which you don't believe. which he has no scripture for, and it is a personal understanding only to him, and you have verses that say the opposite, point out his heresy, affect him, show him that you are a worthy opponent and a fierce competitor, not to be trifled with. Show him. I'll roll over and I'll roll over and I'll sleep. And I get a phone call. You're gonna let what you, not the Yahweh all, you. And I eat and I relax. And I talk to myself. I pace around the house. I talk to myself. Niggas play. Niggas want it to be one way. They think you always gonna react this way, so they play with you. I don't want nobody. And then I realized that I have sought all my answers away from Yahweh. Away from Yahweh Shai. And my answers come from negative spirits and envious spirits and clamorous spirits, desirous of attention spirits. And I go, well, damn, is that all of my training? Is that all I am? And my brothers don't understand. Some of my brothers are angry and aren't you that brother? You know, don't you treat these brothers like this? And don't you talk to brothers like that? And don't you defend brothers when they're not around? And don't you have proof of that? And can't you prove that? Can't you pull that up and show that? Make a fool of the fool and show him that it's whatever you want, my nigga. Like, if that's how you're gonna talk. But all I could do was fight tears that if a nigga raised a gun at you and you didn't see it and I did, I would have jumped in front of you. And we don't teach the same thing. Many things we don't agree. Yet, brotherhood is the final chamber, and I can keep that commandment, surely.
Right. Preset.
No. And everything inside me is how did nigga you? Everything inside me is screaming for retribution. How nigga, bro? Maybe you never seen this. And then I ask myself, the voice that's saying that, I don't teach with that voice. You ain't not heard that guy teach at 5 Points talking like that. Mm-hmm. The voice that's saying that, nigga, what? You never heard him teach nowhere.
No.
Then how does he get to lead this discussion? That's what I need y'all to understand. Tonight, more than WWF and how could you? Bro. Before that nation gonna watch me teach you. And you, and you, and you, and you. In times where the only answer seems like going away from the man you've built, the woman you've built yourself to be, the answer is go closer to the Most High. At times where the only answer seems your reputation is a name is all you have. And a man must die, eat, kill, and die for that name. Mm-hmm. I must remember that Yahweh Shai made himself of no reputation, but took on the role of a servant. And went to the slaughter and did not open his mouth.
That's right.
And made his burial with the sinners, and was abased of men. Am I better? Some brothers in Israel are excellent, and I believe in them, and I love them. I've had to make some of the hardest decisions as a camp leader that I've ever had to make in my life this year. And I got to ask the Spirit of the Lord to control my son, who's young, 1 year old, that he may grow up not to be a man of this world, but a desirous to pick up where I left off and go forward and bringing Israel to their God. And if I fail at that mission, no matter if he's a summa cum laude or all-star athlete, or he finds a way to become $1 million man, if I can't make him desirous of serving Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach Yahweh Shai, I have failed. So when he reviews the game tape, because his mind is going to be quick like mine, he needs to go, when my father was tried in that way, he didn't go to the other man that he is and was and defeated, and the addictions that that man had and the ways that that man had. He didn't return to that man for counsel. He went closer to Yahweh. That's the teaching. You on here want me to refute a brother that, and as I watch the video, I go, you would let, irregardless if you disagree, beloved, you would let them think that of me? That that was my intention? And that that's what I did? And that that's how I'm using that? Instead of quoting me, instructing it, you teach what I say it means? When you know me, and I'll come on there and tell you. And something that none of your leaders that you ever been around would willingly do, I'll stand corrected. But for that to even happen, I have to offer myself up to stand corrected. Israel, I believe that we are the top scholars in the earth. That we are not we was kings. That hurts me when I open my Instagram and I see how the heathen speaks of us and our accomplishments. Right? Concentrate. Israel, concentrate. They tell you got ADHD in these schools and they put you in the wrong class. But it's only that you was unwilling to concentrate, not because something is wrong with you. Concentrate. I took a study that took me 7 months. And before I said, I'm going to go and tell everybody what I know, I said, this is probably the greatest moment of my life. Because Yahweh has brought people that actually love me and care about me and respect me into my life. And remove those that don't. And these brothers, I think the world of them. And what I will do is I have a plan. I'll put this together in a digestible way. And I'll teach it. I basically wrote a book. And then I will put a bow on it and give it to the brothers I love. And if they academically disagree with my findings, not only will I edit this book that I wrote, I'm not an author. I'm learning how to do bibliographies and the right language to use. I'm learning. Nobody tried to teach me. I'm good on the street, but writing a book, okay, I'm gonna try. Because it ain't for me to understand. It's for the person reading it to understand.
Exactly. Right.
It's not easy. I never wrote a book before. And I said, here, I got a small following. If you support my Patreon, that means you locked in like this. Oh, cahoots.
Remember that?
Relax. We locked in. I'll let you see it too. I'll never promote it anywhere except where I teach. Not in anybody else's room. On Clubhouse, only SOT. And the only people that will touch this document are those that ask me, and they need to be in a camp and represent leadership in that organization. Because surely they can understand how weighty it is to teach something that brothers don't teach or have never said in your experience. Now, I've encountered a lot of teachings that brothers have never taught. Brothers have called me and told me breakdowns and things that they believe that they have not expressed to their body. Let me have this. Don't lag me out. Don't lag me out. They haven't. That's just asking me to relax. They haven't expressed this to their body, but they told me, and you will never know. You know why? Because they told me that. I wouldn't dare take the privilege of them seeing me as someone who deserves to know their ideas, and then I take that and then I decide that I have a righteous motive, and then I berate brothers and decide that it's how I have to teach you. I don't have to berate these men to teach them nothing. They grown men with kids. I can look them in the eye and we can go through it until the sun come up. Okay? I'm here to support Israel. You got a righteous product? Yeah, we got a fee. But you know what? Hey, if I love you, I might still keep advertising you even if you're not giving me the fee. We a small body. We need that fee. A lot of the weight is on a few men over here. Mm-hmm. But even still, we love you, man. So we might promote that thing even still, even though you're not taking care of brothers no more. It's okay. Because I want to be remembered as a loving brother. But I got to watch brothers who I've done things for that I know if it was the shoe on the other foot, I would still be in jail. I would still be out of my home. I still wouldn't be driving. I still wouldn't have made it here or there. I still wouldn't eat. And I got to watch them talk, man. The other man is right there.
At the door.
This nigga? Mm-hmm. He said that? It's either go back to the other man and that's the lesson you teach. Because for SOT, brotherhood is the final chamber.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's hard to be a brother. Israel is stiff-necked and sottish people. Nasty. And the rules ain't the same either. Y'all all's rules are these. But this brother can do this. And we won't bring that up. But if Yahweh all does that, oh, how dare you. So what do I have to do? I have to go closer to Yahweh and seek refuge in him. not the other man. It is our heart's prayer and desire that Israel be saved.
That's right.
Show brotherly love with affection, preferring one another, is what we teach. Not necessarily the deepest of doctrines, but brotherhood, we got the bars for you. Shaking hands after a disagreement, we show you how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll teach you that.
Con.
And should we falsely step, we can. I don't know everything. We can apologize. I'm not talking about my lesson either. Let me show you this. When I sent brothers this doctrine, it was sent one way, with respect. That's how it was sent, with respect. You do me a great honor by evaluating my work, and I'm not sure exactly how you wanted me to feel, but the way Yahweh has me feeling is that is someone, regardless of what he said about you, and regardless of how he spoke on your spiritual family, that brother took your work seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could take that two ways. You have to refute his claims on your bibliography and why you did it that way. You have to demonstrate to him that you actually know the quotations in the Greek and research that already so that you could bring them the summarized quotation from a term paper that is better than one you've ever written in your life. All of my instructors in my college were heathens, and all of them were better academics than me. I didn't know how to write a term paper. I didn't know how to write a bibliography. I didn't know how to paraphrase findings and cite it. I had to learn that.
Right.
And then when I see a paper like that, and I know how to use a paper like that to lead me to the original text, which is in Greek,
Right.
that I had to learn how to read,
Right.
which is hard as hell, and I suck. But I don't want to read it in someone's translation who has a feeling about how it should be translated. I got to read it in Greek, and it's hundreds of words
Hundreds.
carrying a sentiment that someone who already did that study, and I checked their work, and it does say that, and their viewpoint on how they look at that was eloquent. And that's a scholar commenting on someone who I'm speaking on, and I reference the text in the scholar's own words versus the original language, and that's an adequate conclusion on how that person was using that word in those places. I will share you with that, and then I'll write the name of the person and the page as if I tried to hide that. But it gets marketed as Yahweh all is telling you these are someone's words, but they're this person's words. You know the first time I heard that in a peer review? Captain Aharon. He texted me that. personally and said, Adawan, some people will be misled and think that you are suggesting that this quotation is what Philo said, rather than this is an educated analysis of what Philo said in basic terms that carries the sentiment that you currently believe,
Right.
that you're sharing with the people, showing that you came to that conclusion, but there's people out in the world that didn't give me that conclusion that have it too.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And then you give the source away so that the person can look at that the same way you did. And if they want to, they can go back to the original text and see if that stanza of Philo in the Greek was discussing Moses that way, and that this sentiment in layman's term was easily digested.
Right.
See? It you know how you can learn that? You'd call me. But you would let the people believe that you called me and that's what you said to me, and I cast that behind my... You would let the people believe that you called me and said, Yahweh, oh, this source, it appears that you are crediting the synopsis of this scholar as the actual words of the original source. That's misleading. And I said, fuck you. No, I'm still going to do it. You would have the people believe that about me? All the work I put in, you ain't never showed me nothing about none of these people, and you definitely didn't write no term book for me to scour and ask me my opinion. You didn't teach me who those people are. You didn't teach me Athenagoras, Philo, or Clement. You didn't educate me in that way. I'm not supposing that I'm educating you. I just did a study and gave it to you for free. And then you asked me a second time, can I have your sources? And I sent that to you. Not all of them, just the ones that I could put my hands on at the time. I'm not going to send you Philo's collected works in Greek. Why would I do that to you? I read that. Some of it is so poetic, it's very difficult to understand. So what did I do to that paper I gave you? I didn't say the whole paper is my source. I said these blocks and sections are relevant to what I believe the scriptures are saying and how the word is used historically, which would mean that when someone is using that word, they would carry that sentiment because that's how the word is used. How would you understand it any other way? So I gave you people from history using the word, not telling you that these people taught me my breakdown.
This is my foundation.
No, these people use the word too and discuss that concept, but they don't personify. And then you say they do. And then I'm watching you lead the people to feel that y'all all took this out of context and didn't read all this. The specific Athenagoric text, the brother said, I didn't read. I taught that on Sabbath class and put it on the screen and read the whole paragraph. You didn't do that. But you led the people to believe that this idiot here thinks this says that. And you gave your interpretation as if it's somehow better because you say it. And am I supposed to hate you for doing that? Am I supposed to seek some type of vengeance because you did that? Or am I supposed to let patience have its perfect work and watch you do that? I did. I never wrote a comment. Brothers were saying wild shit. Not going to say nothing about that comment right there. You see that comment right there.
Exactly. You know what that's about.
Right. Saying some of the craziest stuff, man.
And my brothers around me are like, Raw, yo, this guy, that your man. Yo, you going to let him lead the people that think that of you? When you can just go on the channel now and you can explain how. Forgive me for not being the world's greatest academic and having the wherewithal to predict how you would perceive my intentions, to make sure that I prioritized the right words so that you would never draw that conclusion. Forgive me. We're going to make mistakes, man.
Part of a peer review.
It's part of a peer review. You know who did that peer review? Aharon. Y'all were all, the way you wrote this here, and you said understand, you meant to say understanding. He caught that.
Mm-hmm.
So the document that brother has is older. I've edited
Right.
since then.
Since then.
It's grown. When I had time, I got a son, I got a lot to do. That was 70 pages. I wrote a book. I don't do shit like that.
Right.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Aharon said, this is actually a synopsis of Tversky. Quoting, can I do something real quick?
Yes.
For the brothers and sisters that study with me, okay? I got two of those papers, two different ones from two different places. You can compare them. I gave that to brothers. I had this talk with Deacon, who had the same peer review. It appears you're passing off Ronald Williams' opinion on what Philo says as
You're not sharing.
what Philo says. I'm not sharing.
Mm-mm.
That was great input.
Right.
Because we had to talk about a specific concept from Philo's Complete Works, which is a gigantic book like this.
Right.
And it's Greek if you're reading its original language. All I'm going to say is this. Let me go to it. For the people that study with me so that it doesn't happen to you. You see this clause here? You see these footnotes here?
Mm-hmm.
These footnotes point to Philo's writings exactly where they are.
Right.
Right? So, this stanza, which ends in 50, tells you that conclusion was drawn from these three places. This is a writing of Philo. This is a writing of Philo. And so is this. It's in Roman numerals, book, chapter, and verse as part of course. You might have difficulty with this one because this abbreviation is not concordant with what? The bibliography at the end that tells you everywhere to go to check if those opinions are valid. I did that.
Mm-hmm.
These things are in Latin and Greek.
Right.
This was hard.
Right.
It was hard finding this particular paper. There's a lot of people that think they understand Philo. This one was the best. And I found I had to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I found certain passages in here of value, and I highlighted it for my brothers so they don't have to read the whole thing. I did all of that. 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 For brothers to treat me as if I didn't do all of that, and like they knew that already.
Oh, right.
'Cause like they showed me this, and then I read it inside out to push an idea because I hate Christ. Oh, wow.
Right.
You would let them believe that? Or is it about something else? Is it more about, if you right, then I'm wrong, and nigga, don't you ever tell me I'm wrong. And there's a certain man that comes out. Not the man that says, I'll make a 70-page book. I never wrote a book before. Other brothers in Israel wrote books, children's books, and they charge for them.
Yep.
I wrote a book. I put it on my Patreon that the supporters of my camp already pay for.
Already paid
Yep.
for. They,
Already paid for.
I sold 22. I'm misleading the sheep, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I want the whole nation to be misled by this new doctrine. 22 people have seen it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And remember, we're doing it all for profit.
But we're doing it all for money. 22. You ever do 22 times 15?
It's like what?
Can't pay for Passover.
No, that's like $330.
Can't pay for Passover. But I tried, brothers. I tried to bring us some funds. He was a small body.
I thought it was 35. Oh, it was 15.
Right.
No, it's 35 if you want to watch all of the other brothers teach other things
Oh,
Yeah.
and have access to Pillars of Rest,
Right.
which the brother contributed to.
Yes. Yes, he did.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
The sister, I'm so grateful.
God.
That sister has done things in the past. She sent us hand warmers. We still use
use
them.
them.
Yep.
Right. The electric
Still
ones.
use them.
We still using them.
Yep.
Far be it from me to ever be ungrateful and speak of people that I love like garbage.
Right. It's crazy.
But when it does happen to you, do you go to the old man to solve it, or do you go closer to Yahweh? I'll show you something else, Israel. I'll show you something else. You're going to need some maturity for this one. This is Blue Letter Bible. Are they asking for donations?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Oh,
it's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
I wonder how many other camps ask for donations.
Keeping the website open,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah. It's costly.
I wonder.
I gotta go to Esau to learn how to read the New Testament in Greek. You can't show me. Isn't coming to Blue Letter Bible going to Esau?
Yes.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
about the
it is.
interlinear?
Yes,
Is that
it is.
Esau? What about any other comparative texts?
When we got here, and this isn't Drupal, this is PHP. When we got here, what are the odds that the PHP designer is a practicing Israelite that brought you this page?
Give me a break. Give me a break.
When you press tools here and it drops down, this is JavaScript. What are the odds that the person who designed this are practicing Israelites?
Slim to none,
But going to the heathen is the problem, right?
apparently.
So what I do is I will do the study and put it all together.
Right.
And before I say it's doctrine, I will share it, the demo, with those who support me already. God forbid they appreciate my work and like it. How dare they praise me and tell me it was excellent?
Right.
Brothers didn't say that to me. They said it was awful when they called me. This is bad doctrine. I said, why?
Did you read it?
The brother talked to me for hours, yes. And that's the narrative. You would have the people... Wait. I don't have to answer these questions, brother. Yahweh knows my heart. You would have the people believe that in the time that we talked, you took me through those sources
Come on now.
and expressed to me that you feel that I'm passing off the opinion of the scholarly literature as a quotation of Philo. You said that to me. I knew you felt that way, and I didn't do anything. The first person to tell me that anyone could perceive it that way is Captain Aharon. He earned it too. He became a captain the same time as this brother. And he said, Adawan, you have to write this better. He works in defense and he deals with major contracts at a high level. And he said, Adawan, you have to elevate this because someone could feel the way you wrote that you are passing off the words of the scholarly literature as the quotation. I took that counsel. I didn't know to do that. I wrote 70 pages. It was a lot. I got a son. I go to camp. I work full time. I stay up 2, 3 in the morning. I get headaches. I don't sleep. My wife, we sleep in separate bedrooms because I come to bed too late. I don't want to wake up the baby. But I had to get that done because it was important. And the first people I give it to are my brothers for free. Nobody paid for it the first round. And then if you study with SOT, you can see it too. And if you have questions, I'll take them. And if you have an academic reason for disagreeing with my findings, I will take that into consideration and edit my document and credit you.
That's all recorded too.
That's the deal.
Yep.
That's the way it was presented to everybody that touched the document. If you have an academic reason for disagreeing with anything that I'm saying here, meaning if you pulled up a scholarly resource and said, well, this guy has these notes concerning these chapters from this scholar, because you have to translate it. You ain't, I don't think, I've never seen you do a lesson on Athenagoras, beloved.
Did you know who that was?
Stop. So I didn't know to understand how you felt about him. I did the study and found him. But you tell me I'm taking him out of context as if, did you know who that, like, I guess it doesn't matter because I don't matter. And you've made that abundantly clear while dressing it like I love you. But you would let them believe that you called me and said, y'all were all, when we look at John 1:1, right? And we parse these words. You told me You told me the meaning of these words? You told me this was a noun in the accusative? Is that what happened when we spoke on the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother, I don't have to, hold on, man. Listen to me. I don't have to deduce the state of your spirit and assign an intention to whatever it is you did tonight. I'm asking a question. You called me and told me that theos there is a noun in the accusative? We talked about that? But you telling everybody that I read it in the chat, the sister they talked for 2 hours. You know what you said to me. I said, my lesson is not about the pre-incarnation per se. That's for peer review. If brothers have academic reasons to disagree with my findings, I will take that into consideration, edit my document, and credit you. Why am I crediting Athenagoras when I have you? Why am I crediting Philo when I have you? Why am I talking about what Ms. Tversky said when I have you? But this is where we started because nobody else did this. Who did it first? Mm-hmm. Who else made this lesson and cares this much to introduce our people to academic research concerning theology? Who's chronicled who wrote the book about all the camps and the differences in their ideologies and how they approach things differently? This camp teaches this camp teaches that. Who wrote that book for us?
Right.
Who wrote that book for us? I started that book. because that's our history. But who wrote the book in the world? Who holds that book in the world? Vocab Malone. When the old man is the only man you can go to, Yahushai profits you nothing. You have to be what? A new creature. And when you cleave to the Most High, he will show you how beautiful that is.
That's right.
Have I insulted my brother?
Nah.
I'm asking them, you would have them believe that about me?
Right.
That you called me and our conversation was about the things you said on this video? You showed me that when we spoke? You hadn't even finished the document when we spoke. And I said, you getting a little hype. Chill. You're talking to me crazy, bro. This is a scholarly work. I'm trying to do something that Israel don't do. I'm being berated for studying. I found some things linguistically that I cannot deny. You would have the people believe that you gave me a lesson on John 1 and 1 linguistically, and we sat and looked at the screen and went over this together? You would have them believe that? That ain't what happened.
You know.
Tonight you taught that a nominative is the subject of the sentence. And then you got to a later part and said a nominative belongs to the other subject. You said that tonight. And brother said, Adawan, you gonna let him do that? I didn't say anything, did I?
No.
Nope.
I didn't, brothers was commenting in the chat. I understand, but oh my days, fam. You would have them believe that we went over the possible meanings of the word logos together? And you got everybody in the chat typing, they already spoke? He already spoke to him, I don't get it. And I go, what's happening right now? Surely he will defend my honor because he knows his findings that he brought out tonight. We didn't discuss that. I was told, who cares about the Greek? It's a highly philosophical language. We know that John was originally written in Hebrew. That's what I was told.
Yo.
Stop. Be mad at me. You got niggas, I see people in the chat here, was in the chat over there, and they was going for it, and I'm like, you leading all these people to believe that? We would have had that talk then.
Correct.
Well, I disagree with you. You said a nominative there is, then you, the second time the way you approach nominative, and then when you looked up that other one, Rima was there, I would have told you that doesn't say logos there. I looked into that.
You wouldn't have even had to go.
You wouldn't even have had to go over there if we did this together. Here's what happens, brothers and sisters. Because that's not the only brother. I sent it to many brothers. Because I think that our people are the smartest people on the face of the earth. And they're most loving. And I gave them a chance to prove that to me. And many have. The conversation was, I don't care what you think about John 1 and 1. Are you saying Yahushua did not pre-exist? And my answer is we all pre-exist. And you read that. You read that from one of my sources tonight and then moved away from it. And then argued that he was making your point when he was making mine. But if you showed me that when we talked, I would have said that. and we would have talked about that. But you led the people to believe. You had them believing that we talked about that. I spent, and it wasn't no 3 hours, and it wasn't even 2. I spent about, because I was at work too. I spent about an hour and 15 minutes with pauses because the brother was doing things. And I was answering questions about other scriptures saying, if you're saying he doesn't pre-exist, how do you deal with this? And I'm like, it's not really my goal right now is to exegete every scripture that brothers use to support John 1 and 1. I'm saying John 1 and 1 does not say, and the word was a God. God being a descriptor, the word being the person described. It doesn't mean that. That entire statement, even the way they reversed it in our English reading, is designed to equate God and the word as the same. That's the study. I didn't write that. I'm telling you, all the linguistic research I've done is making that point. And then I exegete John 1 all the way down to 18, line upon line, with precepts in those slides. And when we got to that part, I said, I'm humiliated that my work that I shared is being put on display to a whole audience who's not mine. Those people in the chat are some of the most negative individuals and slick with it. They don't deserve to see my work because I wouldn't share it with them.
And they're not nowhere near any of that scholarship. They never do that work.
And they would never do that type of work for me and share it with me. But I shared it with you. And I was waiting for your Adawan to come back from his long journey. And I was going to ask him for an audience to come to his school and sit at his feet because he's been doing this a long time, and show him my findings and be honored by him to consider them. And if he disagrees, to log his disagreements. So that instead of saying in the glossary, Athenagoras, Philo, Clement, I can add a new section, Disputations, Ariella of Sakari.
Mm-hmm. That's what it could.
You thought I wasn't going to do that?
Right.
Ariella feels this. I was going to share with my audience your findings because you graced me by sharing them with me. And we were going to have a document that Israel never had before, which is our own exhaustive study on John 1 and 1 from Hebrew Israelites. That was the goal. And then when it was all done, I was going to put that out.
That would have been beautiful, man. That
And,
would've been so
I was going to
beautiful.
put it on Amazon, and I was going to do a whole lesson about it, and I was going to give it to brothers, and it was going to be physical form. That was my goal, man. I'm sorry that you didn't see that vision, and I am extremely remorseful that I wasn't a good enough author. I'm sorry I wasn't that good of an author to represent my earnest intentions in a pleasing fashion to you. Forgive me. But you would let them believe that we discussed that? You would let them believe that our 15 minutes, because the rest of the time we talked about our pregnant wives and the brotherhood and love that we have. And you told me you would read more, and you asked me to send you the sources also so that you can look at those. And I did it post haste. I did it for everybody that asked me. And then that happens, what you did today. But Israel needs to know something, since it's like that. Israel, what? You would have brothers lead you to believe that we talk every single day, but then the talking stopped, and now that I see your video, I want to talk again? I saw those messages. I saw that. That's what you think of Yahweh all? Oh, wow. Don't make me prove how much I love you and show the messages. Like, this is how I talk to these brothers. Look at this. That's the last time we spoke, and look what I said. I text you and say, Ak, I don't mind if you disagree with me. And if you want to teach your own John 1 and 1 and say, by the way, Yahweh all is wrong, you could do that. Just don't use my slides, bro. That's my work. I got that behind a paywall. That's for the body. And for the people that truly, people in your chat were talking like they was entitled to it.
Right.
Right.
We're not friends. We don't talk. One of those brothers spoke to my wife without my permission. One of those brothers. Jumped in her DMs, was talking to her.
But you got the most to say.
I had to call that brother and check that brother, and nobody knows what I said to him. Because why would I do that?
Right.
Why would I make a video about you, Ak, and what you did? And I had great pains behind that. You know what I'm saying? So, but to see you talking in the chat, it's like, oh, you sharing my findings with these niggas? Why you doing that?
Yeah, to see the type of individuals that were coming in the comment section was crazy, because we've had a rocky path with certain individuals.
And those same individuals, funny enough, they would be hypocritical because their conversation would reflect something totally opposite than what was that in the chat. So, you got a lot of people that are, not really solid niggas in your chat. And some of y'all starting to reflect the same thing.
Relax. Listen. I've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes, and I have not given my opinion on you as a man, except for the accolades you deserve for the brother that you are and the family man you trying to be. Because Yahweh told me to do that. That's what he told me to say. He didn't tell me to check that nigga. He trying to play you. And you would never. You was in a posture to jump in front of a bullet for that nigga. And that nigga will do that. That's the old man. My son has a better father than that. I don't talk spicy and all of that extra mimicking the elders and how they used to do it and pass it off as righteous rebuke to make sensationalism. I love you. I think the world of you, brother. And I think you are a great mind. And I've said that to brothers who are no longer with me. I have a video about saying that I love you, brother, and you be a great brother. And that brother bit me in the back too. Pause. Backbiting too.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I can't let how you move change me. I have to be who I am and what Yahweh has raised me to be. And he's raised me to be a brother. You would let brothers believe that when we spoke, it was about what you would have brothers believe that we talked and you said what you said from minute 1 to whenever you ended the video. Because I had to get off once you said the spirit has left me. Well, then you're not talking to a brother anymore. Because once the spirit has left me, I'm in the congregation of the dead as far as you're concerned. So you have no more edification for me. You can have your shovel and you can continue to bury. If I can, I'm going to promote your book if I can find the commercial. I don't agree with your translation. So, who else in Israel made us a book?
Right.
The brother's only going to get better. I can get better too. I can learn. But you would have the people believe that, like, it's a little weird. And then your chat mod is reiterating, well, no, they talked for 2 hours. Do you know that same person? I felt that they disrespected you because I didn't understand. And you were nowhere around, my brother. Can you play that?
Come.
I just want to share this with the nation because it's real. Oh, y'all waiting for the part of the video for what you came to see? You're not. It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
SOT don't teach that. You could go be with brothers that teach that. Any brother you ever seen me with,
How do you go to the replay?
that's my brother.
You know how to do that? Go to the replay.
And that's it. We don't amend that because they teaching something that I don't like. And I don't have any brothers that have put together studies and invited me to review it. I have none. Nobody's ever done that for me.
Here we go. Let's do replays.
I want you to play this.
Okay.
If they can hear it, they can hear it. If they can't, there's nothing I can do about it. I love you, Ak. And I love the Most High. And I can't love him unless I love you.
And only that way, or you would have had questions.
Go to the timestamp.
There we go.
Yo, hold on. Who's this person? Yadalaya in the chat. Who are you? You speaking like I'm saying things I'm not, and you name dropping. Ariela's my friend and called me personally. So what you bringing him up for? Who are you? Yo, the way you.
Hold on. Ariella ain't in that room.
Right, he wasn't.
I thought somebody was trying to disrespect my guy.
Right.
Who disagreed with my findings.
Yep.
Who said he's going to look into it more. And hit me back.
Hit you back.
That's how I talk to people I think trying to play you. That was your wife. I didn't know that. I read the comment wrong. I just saw somebody using your name, and you ain't gonna speak on my nigga's name like that. We don't roll like that. We locked in. You talk about him, you talking about me. And the old man was very offended today, because that was the old man that stopped teaching to do that. What you talking about him for? Then the brothers corrected me. No. Look at it again. That's his wife. I said, oh shit. And then I didn't sit on that. I hit the brother up and apologized. I thought somebody was trying to play you. Whole time it was your wife. Salakia, I didn't mean to come at her like that. Love that, sister. The brother told me, Khan, I understand. It's all good.
Yep.
That's the last time we talked. The next time we spoke, I was saying, respectfully, bro, I don't know why you're doing this. I'm a little bit surprised, but you got my face.
You didn't speak.
You ain't tell me you was going to do that. And then you would have the people believe that, oh, nigga, you made it. Well, I think your words was, let me tell you something, nigga. You made it public, and now you trying to spin a narrative. You had the people believe I'm doing that? 22 people seen that document. You read 10 of their comments. The rest of the people that seen that document are you brothers, and you got it for free. And all I asked was, can you review my work? Not, I'm right. Yo, let me put you on, Ak, and show you, see what you've been missing from your teaching. I didn't do anything like that. I said, I did an exhaustive study on the historic usage of the word logos, and I think there's major implication on the linguistics behind John 1 and 1 and how we teach it. And I believe the Greek is not carrying the sentiment that we're carrying. And I put it all together in an exhaustive document. I tried to make it nice to look at. I put a lot of work into it, and it would behoove me if you brothers would peer review this for me and look at it. And if you disagree with my findings and you come back to me with an academic reason that the things that I cited are incorrect, I will edit my document and I'll quote you. Israel never had nothing like that.
Yep.
Well, too late. Surprise ruin. Hey, Israel. You seen the slides of mine he wanted to show you. Oh, and apparently I'm so stupid that I'm passing off the quotations of someone else as the words of the speaker. But I promise you I'm not that stupid, because I wrote the bibliography and put that person's name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
And I got the source that I highlighted where they said that.
How do we get that source? I want to ask the person that felt that they were qualified to teach it. How do we get that source?
How do you find that paper?
How do you find it? And how do you find
Relax.
how do you find the quotation that the person said? How do you do that? How do you parse that information?
How do you check behind that person's work?
I was hoping that he was going to demonstrate that, but
You
didn't know how to.
you proved you didn't know how to use that document, and I would have said, "Hey, Ak, here's how you." When they put the quotation, you went down and said, "Oh, these are the footnotes that it comes from, and whatever this means," and then you went back to what you trying to say. No, bro, I'd have showed you how to get there. I'd have showed you that HER is not in the bibliography as an abbreviation because it's based on another language, and you have to go to the other language to find that that writing of Philo. And here's the section it's in.
It's in the same source.
Well, it's just because the energy is moving closer to God and further away from
The old man.
the old man, who's only worried about his reputation or clout or attention. And you know what I'm worried about? You would let them believe that? Is that how little you think of me? So that hurt me because you think that small of me, but I think the world of you. And that's why I didn't hesitate when you asked for it. See, because you weren't my first choice to send that to, beloved. I wanted to send that to the Adawan. But I wanted to wait for him to return from his trip so I could go to his school and ask him for a moment of his time to look at this with me. And so that I could log his file. But you asked me, and I love you, and I sent it. And then you did this. So why would anybody go to the Patreon to say, well, let me see early? You know, you go on Steam, you want to play a game early, it's not done. Mm-hmm. You got to pay for the early access, and you can play the unfinished version of the game a couple levels.
Right.
Or if you pay for this now, you get the early access, but when the final game comes out, that's yours.
Right.
You know how they do that?
Yeah.
Well, if you want the document now in its infancy, you can have it, and we'll field your questions on the Patreon. We'll stop what we're doing and make videos for you and all of that, right? To make a value for why should we go to the brothers' Patreon? I'm a small body. For us to have feast days and have uniform and garments and things, it costs.
It costs.
So I give you things for free. And I want to show you those things that I give for free. If you will indulge me. I'm gonna show you what I do for free. Because I saw brothers in the chat saying, $15, you charge for this? I know what you mean when you say that.
$35 to learn this.
I know what you mean when you say that. So you would let brothers think that about me? I gotta question the whole thing. Like, what's the motivation? Like, I saw that message and I heard that. You didn't say it to me because I reached out to you. You didn't answer the phone. You didn't respond to a text for 2 days. I wanted to talk to you. Well, what was your motivation? Should I lead my audience to believe that the reason that we can talk all the time, but then you stopped responding to me is because that's how you move? And I'm only your boy up to a certain point, and then you'll step on me to have what you want to. I don't never want to think that of you. And I wouldn't lead my audience to think that. Ever. I want to show you something, Israel. Because brothers complain, oh, you got to pay to join his Patreon. You got to pay to be on anybody's Patreon.
Right.
That is the point of Patreon.
Look at my brother's teaching. This brother, this is on the Patreon. This brother did a video on how to make a professional resume to help Israel. Can y'all see that?
It's a little small.
Can y'all see that?
There you go, that's better.
That's the kind of stuff we do. We help. Oh, the same brother. When we was trading, I used to do free classes at 11 o'clock in the morning while I was supposed to be working to give brothers my trades, and he was in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm that kind of brother. Because he did business with me with the Forex. And they was using us. And I said, no, I'll pick up the slack. I'll teach my own class. They won't teach you nothing. I will. He never said nothing about that to y'all. But he led you to believe that I'm so stupid. I'm trying to confuse the flock with a data dump is what he said.
Yeah.
22 people supported us. 22 people.
For a $15 PDF.
Took me 6 months to put all that together while working and being a dad and going to camp and never missing a Friday class for how many years straight? I want to show you something. Israel, cleaving to the Most High is all we can do when the old man seems to have the answer. Understanding John 8:58 was my class. Public enemy number 1. Explaining to Israelites why people will turn against them for following this understanding. Husbands, love your wives. Help them. Be merciful to them. Purge the lying spirit. Be a better brother. Hispanics and natives, we are one family with a forgotten history. What is running your life? Are you letting the Most High guide you? Or are you letting this world guide you? The Emmanuel prophecy. Explaining how the New Testament can perceive the Old Testament. And giving the answers so you're educated and never blindsided by some Jew, some Gentile who thinks you don't know this. I'll teach it to you. It's right in front of your face. What the world thinks about us. The brother said the spirit is leaving me. That means there must be a breadcrumb of when I just stopped loving Christ and I stopped being a brother and I became some type of nigga out here, and it gotta be a breadcrumb here.
Yeah.
Debate is how we learn. Teaching our Christian brothers. Don't fear that when brothers challenge ideas that you may believe. Debate is how we learn. And I talk about the decorum of it. That's in the wrong category. That's a street teaching episode. Be real with yourself. Do you really want to be in this truth? Or are you trying to be in this world? How many months ago am I going back?
Oh, that's a street teaching episode of when we had Unity Camp with them.
Oh, this is a unity camp with them brothers.
Yeah.
Was the spirit leaving me then?
Right. I was so graciously allowed to teach.
The grafting in and its meaning. How do you get more? I'm trying to figure out when the spirit started leaving me. Because a brother said that about me.
Yeah.
No one is coming to save you. A lesson for blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics to stand up and be the greatest people on the face of the earth. And stop waiting for someone else to do the work that you can do. And then I had to walk it like I talk it while I was putting together that document.
Yep.
Searching for those sources.
Right.
I don't have no breakdown of Athenagoras from you, Ak. You didn't do it, or you would have been my primary source. But now that you've done it now, I disagree with your exegesis of the immediate things you put your finger on, and I can tell you didn't read that in the Greek,
You did not.
and you didn't read that whole stanza because you wouldn't carry the entire sentiment that you proposed to teach when you was trying to correct me on it. When I wasn't saying Athenagoras taught me how to understand John 1 and 1, I said Athenagoras is a early Christian who speaks the language, and he uses that word, and this is how he can use it.
The word, not exegete the text.
Not because Athenagoras believes that there's a God the Son.
Right.
You're
He
right.
believes
Yeah.
that.
Wait. but
That's the point.
Did I teach Israel that there's a God the
No.
Son?
No.
The point is, there is someone who teaches a God the Son that understands what logos means.
And used it in a sentence. Look at that.
You know who that cuts? That cuts a Trinitarian.
Yes. I did a lesson, it's not as easy as it looks, and it's still not. I did a lesson, diction does not determine doctrine. I'm one of the foremost people that understand the way that something reads doesn't necessarily convey the meaning. You must look deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Day of Atonement. When did I start losing the spirit? How many months we back?
4 months.
4 months.
You can't do both. You can't be in the world and be in this truth. Many hurtful lusts. You desirous of things that seem like they what you want, but if Yahweh gave you those things, it might destroy you. And I got a verse that say that. And we discussed it. Burned in a furnace, the true image of Christ that I love. You think you love him more than me? Good. I don't love him for competition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love him because I believe in him. And I love the Most High. And the Most High chose me to do a scholarly work that he may not have shown you, brothers, or put the Spirit on you to do. But the first thing I thought to do was share it with you. How to make a comeback for a brother that niggas like those vultures in the chat have torn down and sought to destroy. I made a lesson for him. When did I start losing? You're getting worldly again. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Let me tell you something, stupid nigga. You getting worldly again.
Yeah.
I don't talk to you like that.
Remember that.
I don't talk to you like that. And when brothers started wilding on the phones, because you ain't the only one I talk to. Our world don't traverse around you. Some brothers got a little flippant because how dare you disagree with what I teach? Maybe you used to be being treated like that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've been treated like that and spoken to that way because you had a different viewpoint and you think you ought to treat others that way. I wouldn't have you do such because I wouldn't treat you that way. I was sick. I missed the class. 5 months. It's been 5 months since I missed the class.
And we reacted to an old man teaching against the laws. How we out of the spirit then?
Stop crying and accept it. Keep the commandments, nigga. Our position concerning Paul. Weren't you brothers revolutionary with your opinion of Paul and very defamatory of some things that Paul knows? I never made a video with your face.
Were y'all not the spirit?
I never disrespected you. I said that's their scholarly findings and I'm going to study it closer. To understand it is important. Because how can you disagree with a brother that you don't understand what he's saying? Ain't that what I teach y'all?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
That means in order for me to disagree, I gotta know how to teach it.
That's one of the first things we learn.
But I want to lock in on this right here. Because it's getting late. Brotherhood is the final chamber. Can you peer review this lesson too, Ak? Can you peer review that lesson too? And peer review it the way that you want to do it, which is, you take my face and put it, and you don't put, because I taught it on the Patreon. I showed my face. I had my glasses on, man. It was a lot. I was working. I explained through the slides what's being said here.
Yep.
Excuse me for not being the most ultimate author and making sure I don't mislead you to think that I think that what that author said. Do you know I had to type that in?
Right.
M. Tervosky.
Right.
You think I'm typing that like Philo said that? Or am I quoting M. Tervosky?
Right.
That's why it's there.
That's what I mean.
Now you said some heathen white woman like that's my teacher. But that's the attribution that you have to do when you do a scholarly paper, or else it's plagiarism.
Right. Exactly.
Those is the rules.
Yep.
Wait, why are you having to explain that?
He's a collegiate. He knows that.
Yeah, he knows that for sure.
Yeah. Hey, you know that.
But you would have them believe that Yahweh all is so effing stupid that he quotes Tversky and thinks that Philo said that. No, that's Tversky's summation of which brother in the Hebrew Israelite truth has read the entirety of the collected works of Philo? Do you know where to start?
How do you source that material?
So I got a scholar who's an expert in that and found that. Because what did they do? They made a research paper with sources. I went to their sources and said, of all the things they said, that's not credible, but I'll highlight this. Because that's credible. And that's what we're talking about right now. Okay? These other things, assertions, I read this, I used the attribution, put my glasses on, and went to the Latin or Greek that had that for me to read, because Christian early writings is translated. It's good, but it's not the world's best. I've compared. Damn, ain't you supposed to do that?
That was the part of the peer review.
And then you come back and go, well, this Athenagoras translation I feel is weak. This is much stronger to the Greek that he actually wrote to Commodus, and that other one would have you believe this is his. But it much. That's what I thought was going to happen, and then I was going to say one of the top scholars in the earth showed me this, and I was going to put you in the glossary, opinions and thoughts of brother. And then I was going to give you the document because it got your work in it.
In there. So you can pass it on to your students.
Because it's public now.
Yeah.
It was said that we didn't place what we studied under scrutiny. See, that's the thing. To make a statement or insinuate something like that is to speak against the integrity and character of this body.
It's okay.
This school.
That's all right. No. If you learn anything, brother, learn what I'm doing tonight. Now, I told y'all going to watch me teach my brothers live. So, listen. Brotherhood is the final chamber. I don't see the same. I watched your video. It was when you said I'm going to say it. And that's what you wanted to say from the minute one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you think, brother, we're not females. You're not running game on us, bro. Like, you ain't kicking no game to us, bro. Like,
Right.
what is he talking about? What is he? Why did he have to say that? Is it because he got mad all of a sudden? Like, no, you been wanting to say that. I knew that already because brothers told me that's how you feel when you wasn't responding to me and talking to me, but you was talking to other brothers because it's your civic duty. Because I'm misleading the sheep. They let me know what you think of me, and then they told me, well, what you gonna do? And then I had to think about that. And what I'd rather do is be a brother. Israel, I have a lesson called Is that the quote? Yeah. John 1:1 is not about a pre-incarnate Christ. And I don't teach like this when I talk either. You know, I don't talk to you like that in a video. I show you all my findings and I talk about John 1:1. And then if you oblige me and support the body and you want to see that, because you wasn't supposed to know that other brothers had it and there was a final form of this coming. It was going to be nice, man.
It was going to be so nice, bro.
And
sorry, y'all.
And my whole goal was to exalt brothers. Nobody's running to talk about how y'all were all, if you in need, he'll do this for you. Nobody's running to say Yahweh all was accused of this, sat through a 5-day council, proved he didn't do it, and niggas still say he did it, and never went public with the findings that it was no grounds to say that, and the nigga proved it with his bank statements. Nobody's gonna sit through that either.
And that showed because those same individuals that all those good deeds were done to
Was in the chat.
What's in the chat?
Slandering.
Still talking.
Slandering.
Still saying.
And when we
So I'm supposed to take that nigga's face and give a lecture about what type of demon that brother is, because I did this for him, then I might as well have not done it. And my good deed be for naught.
Yep.
I know too much Bible. You can't get me.
The brother still don't know enough.
You can't get me. Well, y'all were all, unfortunately, bro, I think the brother came harder than you. You know, I feel like the brother really, like, roasted you, bro, and your comeback was weak, man. What do you, well, then it wasn't for you.
Right.
Simple.
This teaching was for those that want to get closer to Yahweh. 47 scholars, the greatest of the day, came together from Cambridge and Oxford and broke themselves into groups to dissect the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. And they used convergent information and used committee to decide on what your Bible today should say. And them niggas put Easter in your Bible. All of their names is on record. All of them are Trinitarians. They did some fantastic things with your King James.
Yep.
Y'all all can't come together with scholars of his day and compare his notes against theirs? Or does he have to make a YouTube video and completely take a shit on brothers because they don't agree with his version of what he believes he's reading based on his scholarship that he's done?
Right.
And he becomes a charlatan who's trying to mislead the sheep. Yet I was the hook that brought you into the truth, and you've been waiting for this moment, and I know you have. And I've been waiting for a moment to exalt you and to make sure the world knows that you're the scholar that I think you are. Same thing with all the brothers I sent this document to. And y'all have made it abundantly clear that you loyal to your organization. It's them over everything. And the rest of you niggas, it's whatever. I don't teach that to my students here at Sons of Thunder. They've never learned a lesson like that.
That's right.
And y'all brothers have taught many things that head scratches. The sheep come to me. How can they say that? I said, go ask him. Right. Wait.
Yes.
No. I'm supposed to be offended that the sheep come to me. How can they say that? I was watching this video and that brother said this. And he used this language. That's not of God, Ak. And you be with him. You're not going to... I got to make a video with his face in it?
They say the spirit leaving them.
And say the spirit might be leaving him.
The spirit is nice.
Nah. I'm going to say What I always say, go ask that brother. What you asking me about another man? Ain't that what I said on that clubhouse when I thought somebody was talking about my brother? What you talking about him for?
Yeah.
And that's my friend. I know him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It's great being your friend, Ak. It's been a pleasure. Sis. Oh, it's great being your friend. That was wonderful what you did today. Because you took me seriously. Thank you. Now, for those of you that are wondering, well, what do all 70 slides say?
Mm-hmm.
You can watch Ariala take my work and make it his work. Okay? I can't stop it anymore. It's out.
It's already out.
Far be it from me to flag your video, because that might lead to your channel getting flagged, and I would never want that. Even though that's my intellectual property, and I didn't give it to you for that purpose. Even though you would have the people believe I publicly taught this on Clubhouse
Right.
when I didn't.
Right. At all.
Not one slide
Not
did I
once.
explain.
Not once.
I asked them, could you oblige me? And if y'all want to know this, can you support the body? It's there.
None of it was public. Nothing was.
A public party is free to get into. A private party, you gotta pay to get into, right?
That's right. It was per pay or per invite. That's not public.
Yeah, that means it's not public, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that means it's not public. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something. This is a conversation between me and our brother I respect. Nah. Because I got to ask him. Right?
Yeah.
It's called etiquette
Being a brother. Being a brother.
and culture.
Edit that. You would have brothers believe that? Huh? You would have brothers believe that? Well, I would have brothers believe that you brothers are sincere and you really love the Most High God and you have your own way of doing that and your own style. And far be it from me to ever lead someone to think anything else of you. And with that, we are the sons of thunder. It is our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. And if you should choose to see the document in its infancy stage, you can do that. If you are a leader of an organization, as the original call says, I'll send it to you. Just message me. Shout out to Katazap out there in Cali. He asked me for it. I sent it to him recently. And should you academically disagree, hold on, let me jump to BCAM. If you should academically disagree with any of my findings, the battery died. That's from class last night. See, I'll be having that thing charged for Friday. This is impromptu. I didn't charge it today. If you academically disagree with any of my findings, can you please put together your findings and share that with me as I've shared this document with you? And if I agree with you, not only am I going to edit my document, I'm going to credit you and add you to the glossary, because you and I, us, we are the people of the book. We are the church fathers. And the time is going to come that these dead niggas, we're not quoting them anymore. Now you're quoting us. And that was the goal. Maybe I'll still be able to see it only if the Most High's will be done, and only if he allows. Because we do all of this for the praise and honor and glory to the Father, as Christ taught us. And for anybody wondering, am I stealing glory from Yahweh Shai and it's blasphemous? Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 told me that my duty is to keep the commandments and to fear God. And I assure you, all of this was done from slide 1 to 70. It was done with the fear of God. Shalom.